Welcome back to F-Body Garage. In this episode, we're going to be doing something we don't normally do, bodywork. This is my wife's 1987 Trans Am GTA. We grew up around the 80s and 90s where the movie cars and TV cars became iconic. The Knight Rider car was one of those cars that my wife always liked. So she always wanted one. She also wants a car that we can bring to the track and she can do the stuff that I do. So like, you know, she wants to do some drag racing, road racing, drifting. So we're kind of building like an all-around type car. No crazy horsepower, you know, somewhere around like 500. The suspension is everything that UMI sells, Viking coilovers, the whole deal. So we'll be able to do, you know, whatever she wants to do with it. So we've gotten that far. The motor's in it. It runs great. Suspension, everything underneath is done and beautiful. The exhaust is on. Now it's just do the body work, put the interior in, you know, then she can drive it. In this episode, we're gonna be doing a down and dirty paint job. This is not gonna be like SEMA showroom shine. This is, I just want a flat-ish, slick surface to be able to stick a wrap on, because that's the route she wants to go. So we'll paint the jams. We will throw primer everywhere else. And I don't know, I haven't decided yet. Either I don't know if I want to paint it and then clear, because the reality is we're going to put a wrap on it. So we could just put primer on it and then clear that, and then it would be a flat, slick surface that we could put the wrap on. So that's a potential possibility. We'll just see what it looks like, you know, as we go. We'll figure it out, but let's get started. So now, see if I can figure out some kind of jumper wire or something to do this with. I think it's on.
Do a toggle switch or something under the hood, or I don't know what to do with this.
All right, so now we're gonna do the same thing upside down. So let's put that in my eye. That's good for it. Okay, there's no ground anymore. Okay, as far as that goes. Okay, all right. There you are. Blown away. Dude, that one's about empty. Ooh, that one's about empty too. How many cans of brake cleaner I'm gonna go through? Bees. bro. Get through that one, you need a metal. So now all the major components are done. So now we can move to the car, do the whole cab, and then it's just a matter of doing all the little panels. It's way easier to sand on a car than it is to sand on panels. I hate doing all this little stuff. So we're at the point where it's almost time to prime. I gotta go in all the little nooks and crannies and jams and sand those down. The body's been sanded, all the panels have been sanded. I'm just gonna go around and make sure that everything that paint could touch has a rough surface, and yeah, then we'll get priming. All right, so next thing I gotta do is wipe everything down so that we have something for the paper to stick to. No, don't break. I haven't done this in a while, man. I'm gonna use that as my excuse. I have that, I thought. Not enough. All right, whatever, doesn't matter. All right, so now this side's done. That's done. That's done. Now all the dust is gonna fly in, of course. Yeah. All right, so now we need to clean for real. So here we go. We're getting there. That's my handprint right there. Actually, yeah, that's basically clean. Let's pull one more from the front. Yeah. Barely anything on there. All right, that's for the bumper. Got KITT. It's after primer. Okay. All right, so I'm using high build primer because it's not bad. Like the quarter panels aren't really horrible, the doors aren't horrible, but they are, they do have like a little bit of a wave in them. Because there was body work done previously, the body work that was done previously, when you look at it, it looked really good. Like it was really close, but you could tell, somebody was in there. So now that I've sanded it all out, it's somewhat even, but you can still see, a little bit of a wave in there. So I'm gonna use the high build primer so that it's thick enough that I can go in there and block it out and try to get it a little bit better. So. All right, so stage one is complete. Everything's primed. I do like the way that this primer laid down. I remember using SEM when I was at Mako. That's the majority of products that they used for like the quick jobs. I still need to get adhesive promoter. I'm waiting on the Knight Rider KITT bumper to come in. The only place I can find that makes it is in Europe. So we'll actually have that supposedly next week. So then I can go ahead and paint that. I'm waiting on the hood, which should be here about the same time. So we should have all the pieces to paint. Yeah, so in the next video, we should have this thing blocked and painted. And then we can start finally putting this thing together. But yeah, till the next.